Right, hello, my name's John, and this is the breakdown of what it cost me and what I had to do to become a fully qualified HGV driver. Things have changed over the years, and they keep bringing in new things or taking away things and whatever, so as of the time of me doing mine between May and August of 2018, this is what I had to do and what it's cost me. So the first thing you have to do is get your HGV provisional. You need to get a D2 and D4 forms, which is your provisional application and your medical forms. I got mine from the DVLA .gov website. Just go on there and then you can order the forms off there, and they come within a week, I think. That's what it took. From there you fill out your HGV form, as you would when you apply for your driving licence. And then you've got to book a medical. Now, so you can go to your GP, it costs about £100 to have that done. There are firms out there that do it. By the way, I am in no way affiliated with any of the companies I say. You know, they're not sponsoring me or anything. These are just who I have used. You can use whoever you need to use. Just look on Google, you'll find all the information you need. So your GP will cost you about £100. Now, I found a firm called Fit to Drive Medicals. The website's fittodrivemedicals.co.uk, and I went to one in Winchester. I don't know if they've got any other firms or not, but that cost me £55. So straight up, that wasn't too bad. So that was the first thing. So and I got all that sent off, and then I got my driving licence back, and then you can check on the DVLA website or DVLA.gov website, and then that'll tell you whether you've got, you know, that your provisional is there, that you can drive Class C vehicles. Provisionally, that's what I meant. Cut that bit. Anyway, yeah, so that was £55, so we'll put that up there somewhere. I'll list them all down here, and I'll put the website of companies I used here or something, so you can see. Anyway, right, let me just get, because I've got it all on my phone, so give me a second. Yeah, so that's medical. So then the next thing I did, well, before I'd done any of that, actually, I got myself an HGV Theory Test mock app on my phone, and I'll just have a look through it for you. Alright, as you can see, that is the app that I used. It is called Lgv Theory Test and Hazard Perception 2018. If I was you, I'd recommend going for the paid app, because it has a lot more questions, it covers a lot more stuff, and also has the hazard perception that you can try yourself on as well. Now, the theory test is 100 questions, which you have to get 80 right, and the hazard perception is, I think it was like 13 videos or something, I can't remember now, and you got to get so many points in each one. I think it's out of 70, you got to get 40, so that's what that was. Forget how to use my phone now. This is going well. Yeah, so the theory test app was £5. Okay, and then you have to book your theory test and your hazard perception test separately. Now, there are firms out there that you can go through, they'll give you the forms for medical, you can do the medical, they'll book your theory test, they'll do everything for you. But I've done everything myself on my own back, because I just felt more comfortable doing that. So, there's 4 parts to your CPC. The first part, well, there's 2 parts to the first part. So you've got 1A, which is your theory test, that was £26 to book. And then part 1B is your hazard perception test. They are both part of your first part of your CPC, and the hazard perception was £11. Excuse me. Right, so then once I got them done, I could then book my Module 2 CPC. Now, the Module 2 CPC is like a further theory test. Essentially what it is, it gives you a scenario, like Bob's been driving for this many hours this week, he drives this vehicle, and he does this and that, and it asks you questions on those scenarios. So it's a lot of stuff about tachos and vehicle weights and stuff like that. There are revision packs you can buy. I got mine from a website called... Wrong button again. Again, wrong button. Alright, the company I got my revision pack off is called Lgv Theory.co.uk, and that cost me £12.50, and you get a gateway code for that for 6 months, so you can try for 6 months. Now, doing that, I found the actual case study easier than the revision software. Don't take that as gospel, that's just how it was for me, it's how I felt. So then, once I felt comfortable doing that, I then booked my case studies module 2 CPC, which is your second part, and that cost me £23. That was the cheapest stuff done. That was about 80 something pounds in total. I can't remember the exact cost to get to that stage. Now, once I got my case studies done and got my little bit of paper to say that I passed, I then went out and looked for HGV training companies. Now, one that was closest to me, that worked for me, was called Trailers Training UK. If you watch Luke C and an HGV, he used to have a 5% off discount code for that, which I used, which was very handy, so thank you very much, Luke C. So I went and had a free assessment, which was a half-hour drive round. They pretty much dump you in a driving seat and say, right, drive, and they'll just tell you where to go. And then from there, he'll tell you how many hours he thinks you need. So I went out, done that, and he reckoned I needed 20 hours. That's 18 hours of of lessons, and then 2 hours for the test. That cost me a grand total, this is the expensive part, of £1,414.60, and that is with the 5% discount. It's nerve-wracking, but as you go, you sort of get a bit more comfortable into it. And the examiner I had, he's known for being a bit of a hard ass, so he gave me 9 minors. I passed with 9 minors, but the guys there all said, anyone else, that would have been about 4. Because the guy that examined me is not an HGV driver, so he doesn't give leeway for little things like you normally would in a truck. So that was 20 hours of driving. You do your driving around, you know, learn to take your corners wider, looking further ahead as you go in, checking, rather than just checking the junction next to you on a roundabout, you check like 2 or 3 junctions ahead to make sure nothing's coming, because people do fly around roundabouts and you cannot get away. It wasn't too bad, and then the reverse was easy. That was like the first thing you do. So you drive forward, and you literally just got to reverse into a bay like that, and you got to be within that much of the barrier. To be honest, the reverse was really easy. That was like the easiest part. But all these prices as well, I passed everything first time because, hey, I was lucky. So everything only cost me once. Obviously, a retest will cost you probably about £300, which I couldn't afford to do at the time. So I would have been buggered if I did fail. Right, then after that, so the driving test is part 3 of your CPC. So then after that, you've got your last part, which is your part 4 of your CPC, which is your practical demonstration. So you essentially have to hire the vehicle for the day, which I've done through the same company I've done my driving with, Trailer Training UK. So with a practical demonstration, you got to show that, you know how to do your vehicle checks. You know, like check your engine oil, check your brake fluid, check your tyres, check wheel arch, you know, spray suppression, check your airlines, check your load, check everything pretty much. You've also got he also asks you if you have a fire, what should you do? You know, if you have a fire on a vehicle. They also ask you how do you help control contraband and immigrants, which is another thing. So you got to show that you know how to check for any contraband on your vehicle or search for immigrants that have got into the back or whatever. It's all to do with that, and there are a couple of other bits as well. I can't remember exactly what it all was. There's all websites out there that tell you. So that cost me a grand total of £295. Yeah, again, it's not the cheapest part, but because you have to hire the vehicle for the day, that's pretty much what it costs. And the last thing I had to get, that's enough to get me my driving licence and my CPC card. That gets me qualified to drive. And obviously the last part I needed was my Digi-Taco. Obviously, so you can drive, put your taco card in and drive, and it records all your data. And the taco card cost me £32. Again, with that, you go onto the dvla.gov website, and then you can, I can't remember what the form is, but just type in DVLA Digi-Taco application, and then they'll send you a form so you can apply for your digital taco. And that come within about a week. Right, now to do your driving lessons, you need your license back. So after you've done your medical, your license can take a couple of weeks to come back. Again, after you've passed your driving, if you want to do your CPC within a couple of weeks, keep your license on you and send it off once you've done that, because my license took just over 3 weeks to come back. So I had to wait for that to come back before I could book my practical full demonstration, which prolonged me starting this job by about another 2 weeks. So that was a bit of a bugger. So anyway, so the grand total of all that was £1,874.10. That is what it cost me to get qualified to drive a Class 2 vehicle. So doing the Class 1 isn't going to cost you as much because you've already got all the other gubbins out of the way. You literally just have to pay for the driving. But if you've been driving Class 2 for a bit, then you're going to be somewhat used to a bigger vehicle, so that gets a lot of that out of the way. A lot of it's just learning to control with a trailer, which is something I'm going to be doing in 2019. So that is what I had to do and how much it cost me to do my HGV and get qualified to drive a Class 2 vehicle. So yeah, anyone thinking of doing it, good luck. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, and it's nerve-wracking because it is a big gamble. You know, I was quite stressed doing it, but I got there in the end. It's definitely worth it. So yeah, if you fancy doing it, definitely give it a shot. It's definitely an eye-opener anyway. So yeah, alright, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.